Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis Radio. Today we are talking about Ben Affleck once again and the fact that he has a very, very grim prediction for the future of movies. And this actually echoes what I said about a year ago at this point. But guys, just before we get into this, just remember that at least one of my videos every week will be exclusive to my BitChute or Odyssey channel. And this week, the BitChute and Odyssey exclusive is probably not going to be up until probably Saturday or Sunday. I ran a little behind this week, so yeah, definitely check the BitChute and Odyssey channels. Saturday or Sunday, it should be up by then. But anyway, guys, let's get right into this video before I tangent off for too long about the exclusive. And that is this article from Screen Rant here about Ben Affleck has a grim prediction for the future of movies. Hollywood star Ben Affleck warns of a future for cinema where event-based movies are the only option following the pandemic box office uncertainty. Ben Affleck has made a bleak prediction for the future of cinema, foretelling of a time where movies will be more expensive and event-based. The 49-year-old Hollywood star has written, directed, and acted in huge projects, both independent and blockbuster alike, starting out alongside his college friend and fellow screenwriter,
Matt Damon.
The pair skyrocketed into fame with their Oscar-winning screenplay for Good Will Hunting. On the indie movie scene, Affleck and Damon also came to prominence alongside Kevin Smith, director of Clerks and Mallrats. Affleck eventually found himself a beloved Hollywood leading man and sometimes action hero. In recent years, he has directed passion projects like Argo and Live by Night. Gone Baby Gone was pretty good, but The Town is probably the best movie that he's ever directed. While also dabbling in the tumultuous superhero circuit as the DCU's Bruce Wayne / Batman. Following the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been a troubling period for struggling theaters. Several failed attempts to reignite the box office across 2020 and 2021 have come and gone, with many smaller projects sent directly to streaming for the last 2 years. Only the most surefire hits, such as Marvel movies and high-budget blockbusters, have faced the risky prospect of opening in wide release. Christopher Nolan's Tenet failed to make a profit early in the pandemic, and it wasn't until almost 18 months later when the 007 flick No Time to Die seemingly confirmed that the box office was back on its feet. Now, with the recent massive success of Spider-Man No Way Home, it has become increasingly clear what sort of movies will bring audiences back to the cinema seats in a time of uncertainty. And one important note about Christopher Nolan's Tenet, that movie bombed so hard that, Tenet probably reaffirmed Jason Kilar's decision to make all of Warner Bros.' 2021 film slate day and date release on HBO Max. I know Christopher Nolan got his fucking panties in a wad over it, but still, you have Tenet, a movie that cost $205 million to make. And how much did it make in the box office at the time? Let me look this up real quick. Box office mojo. I know you guys can't see my screen, but I promise I'm only going to tangent for just a couple of seconds here. Okay, Tenet, 2020. It grossed $363,656,624 worldwide, but domestically in the US and Canada, it only grossed $58,456,624. Tenet was not the movie to drive people back to the box office, clearly, at least here in North America, again, the United States and Canada. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, actor and director Affleck has weighed in with his own concerns. The star predicts movies will become more expensive event-sized affairs, akin to the very biggest of blockbusters. Affleck actor warns that movies are mostly going to be for younger people, with the older generations less interested in the modern trends of superheroes and action franchises, directly referencing the interest in the Marvel Universe. Affleck adds that there will be 40 movies a year, all IP sequel animated, and here is what he said fully, quote, I think movies in theaters are going to become more expensive eventized. They're mostly going to be for younger people and mostly about, hey, I'm so into the Marvel Universe. I can't wait to see what happens next. And there will be 40 movies a year theatrically, probably all IP, sequel, animated. Affleck's comments aren't impossible to imagine. His latest reunion with Damon in Ridley Scott's medieval drama The Last Duel was a box office bomb. Scott controversially blamed millennial theater audiences for their lack of interest in real dramatic stories. It has become a fiery trend for auteurs such as Scott to be asked by interviewers about the success of franchises such as the MCU, with Martin Scorsese famously comparing the series to roller coaster rides. And personally, I'm really sick of that at this point. It's basically just cheap headlines, hey, Ridley Scott, hey, Ben Affleck, hey, Martin Scorsese, hey, George Clooney, how do you feel about the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Because they want that quote of, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is destroying cinema. Yeah, big clickbait headline, MCU fanboys get enraged, yay! Anyway, Affleck himself has been on both sides of the debate. So though he has spoken out about the negativity surrounding his role as Batman, with the actor eventually walking away from the part following the stressful reshoots of Justice League. With movie theaters showing less and less independent films and banking more heavily on the franchises, sequels, reboots, and interconnected universes trending in Hollywood, Affleck's predictions are seemingly valid. Out of the top 10 highest grossing movies of 2021, only one film was not based on a pre-existing IP. That was Fox and Disney's Ryan Reynolds-led vehicle Free Guy, which itself was a pastiche parody of several video games. Along it in the top 10, there were also 6 movie sequels, a reboot, and 4 MCU movies. The trend seems to be becoming more and more frequent, with huge event-based movies like Avengers Endgame and the latest Spider-Man film taking precedent over the traditional stories. Whether Affleck will be proved right, however, remains to be seen, as the earliest movies of 2022 begin to release amid an ongoing pandemic. And I said in the beginning, guys, I said something akin to this about a year ago, and I'm not going to make you guys look back, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. It would be on my old channel before I got locked out of it. But the second TMRP that I ever recorded, I aptly titled The Death of the Blockbuster. And the point that I made, I'm not going to make you guys go look it up. I'm just going to give you the Cliff Notes version. The point that I made with that video is, if these studios are going to make these big $200 million spectacles, to the point where every movie the studio makes has to make $1 billion just to break even, then your industry is not sustainable. Because what are you going to do when like 3 or 4 of those movies failed? The exact same thing happened back in the 1960s with the roadshow pictures. And people forget about that. Those were hugely expensive movies, and studios were kind of banking on them at the time. The roadshow movies, think of, like the classic West Side Story, The Great Escape, Cleopatra. Those all fit under the roadshow. The Ten Commandments, Ben-Hur. But still, you had quite a few of those movies notoriously flop, Cleopatra probably being the most famous, and all of a sudden Hollywood had to pivot after that because they just kept losing more and more money on it. So again, if the only thing that you're focused on is making $200 million spectacle to where your movie must make $1 billion to break even, your industry, in my opinion, is not sustainable. And guys, that's pretty much all I got for you. If you stuck around this long, thanks so much for doing so. And if you've been following me long enough, you know I am terrible at ending these videos. So I will just see you guys next time.